Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Upsurge Junior League playoffs. It's the round of 16. It's Figure8 Esports versus Vision Gang. My name is Fennec. Joining me on the desk today is Nightstar. And how are we feeling tonight as we get ready to go in this playoffs?
I am so excited as this is going to be my first Upsurge broadcast, so I cannot wait to see what unfolds in this series. And I mean, it just so happens it's playoffs, so all the stakes are there.
Yes, definitely the case. Is Figure8 Esports coming out of their group in the first seed? They stomped through the Infernal Division, series record 7-0 to make it to this point. But on the red side, it's Vision Gang, and they got out of their division, the Cloud Division, in fourth place, 4-3 on the series score throughout the season. But that does not mean that they are any less of a team. As we get into these picks and bans, quick Yasuo and Cinder bans coming out.
Yep, just and strong picks, and of course the Yasuo. No one really wants to see Yasuo. Let's be real here. We also have to preface this is a plat league, so um, Yasuo a very annoying champion at I would say plat and below, especially my level, which is silver. I refuse to play against that.
Uh, yeah, definitely. And Yasuo actually is a pick that totally Phil, who is currently playing mid lane as he flexes both mid and ADC. He has played Yasuo mid lane in Upsurge this season, so taking that off the table. As we see, Nautilus and Sejuani also being banned away. Syndra, Senna, and Big are going to be the bans from Vision Gang. As we get ready for the first pick, and both these teams like J4, I expect a J4 first pick.
Yeah, J4 is definitely going to be a contested pick, and especially when you take away the Sejuani, who is a little bit weaker early on, but basically functions the same and scales a little bit better than the Jarvan into the later portions. You would figure that taking away the Sejuani would mean that the pinch champion pool would then imply a J4 lock-in, but instead we see Set and then a Thresh pick, so
Yeah, followed by the Renekton. Interestingly enough, though, I believe this will be Set Jungle, as Area has played Set Jungle quite a bit in solo queue, although not in Upsurge. And Flaming Thunder has not played much Set at all. Scratch that, it's Set top lane or mid, as Lee Sin was actually locked in for Area in the jungle. Once again, could be Set mid lane. Hikari's played that one before. Renekton, a signature pick for Reframe in the top lane for this red side squad, as we see what is picked up in response to the Lee Sin and Morgana.
yeah, I mean, Morgana most likely going to the support here as he's put in a fair amount of work onto the Morgana. But Curveball could be the Set going down into the bot lane.
Or mid.
And yeah, there's still quite a few options for the Set. And especially if we lock in something like the Kalista, that would be something that would allow them to go through with it. But today we're going to be seeing Fruity Friday, which hasn't really put in as much Kalista work as the previous AD carry, which is Zboa.
Yeah, that being said, though, Caitlyn's still banned away. We saw the Morgana as a counter pick to the Thresh here. Even though it was with a different AD carry, Figure8 has played Caitlyn Morgana quite a bit throughout the season. As we see, they will ban away Pantheon and Draven as well. The Galio ban says to me that this Echo is probably going to go mid lane, as we see what the side of what the side of Vision Gang wants to pick up in the second rotation.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting on what they end up opening up here. They could just lock, yeah, so they're going to lock in the AD carry, which gives them still the flexibility of moving this Echo into either the solo lane or the jungle. So keeping their options open, I really like that. MF being locked in, just a nice power pick. Um, just lane focused pick here along with the Morgana. So you're going to have a lot of good bot lane priority here. So Lee Sin, if he plays around the bot side, should be able to invade consistently against Vision Gang.
Yeah, and kind of on top of that, right, Misfortune has been picked a little bit by this team. Obviously, different AD carry. Doesn't combo as well with the Morgana as she will with something like a Nautilus or a Thresh, but definitely with the Morgana as kind of the counter pick here. The last pick of the game is going to be Lissandra. This is going to go top lane, so the set will be in the mid lane. The reason I say Lissandra is going to go top lane here is because Figure8's top laner, Flaming Thunder, has played a lot of Lissandra in Upsurge, so this is probably Lissandra top with the set mid lane.
Yeah, he's been kind of the two-trick for this team with Lissandra, Skarner being his main champions, along with, sprinkle in some Ornn that he has from solo queue, and it's a relatively limited champion pool, but at the same time, they're not champions that really stand out and knock you out of the park as like, oh my god, these champions are absolute busted. So things could change once we get into game, but the Lissandra just given over for free here.
Yeah, and with the final pick being Vel'Koz, that means that Echo is going to go into the jungle here. We don't have too much data for the Vision Gang jungler on Echo, so we'll see how he plays that one out. Obviously, very early game focused. Can snowball very well with the Renekton in particular. Going in for the early ganks, plays very similarly to Elise in this kind of comp. That being said, though, let's move on to these lane matchups in particular as we're about to get ready for the in-game draft. Starting in the bot lane, it's going to be Misfortune and Morgana versus the Ezreal and the Thresh.
Yeah, and MF Morgana, they'll pretty much always have the priority in this lane. And Morgana also just a great pick into a Thresh because you can just Black Shield the Thresh's hook here. Thresh Ezreal is still going to be a safe lane, so they won't necessarily die a lot in the lane phase, and they're just going to be looking to scale. However, they are going to struggle in being, again, to get lane priority and defend that bot half of the jungle. So I expect to see Lee Sin get really aggressive in this bot side for Echo, and I mean, you also mentioned it before, Renekton Echo, very strong duo. So for Vision Gang, I expect to see the Echo try and spend a lot of time topside.
Yeah, and that leads us into this jungle matchup. It will be Lee Sin versus Echo. Kind of where do you see these junglers playing early, and how are they going to snowball their teams or get ready to go going into this mid game?
Yeah, for Figure8, it's definitely going to be very dragon focused because you have that very high tempo Morgana Misfortune duo, and then with the Lee Sin, you're going to constantly be playing around bot side and hopefully just get early dragons to put pressure on an early dragon soul. Now, on the flip side, for Vision Gang, they're still going to be looking for that topside pressure. Maybe try and get those early herald, get the early herald to snowball the Renekton, and with Renekton, once you take down that early tower, maybe he then roams around or tries to match the set here, because Renekton is a very good champion to play into set, and maybe struggles a little bit against the Lissandra.
Well, so interestingly, we see Flaming Thunder has locked in set and Kakari has locked in Lissandra, but based on previous matches, I expect them to flip this before 20 seconds are left in the lobby, but stranger things have happened. For now, let's assume that they aren't going to flip it and talk about the solo lane matchups as set Renekton and Lissandra Vel'Koz. But if and when they switch, we can talk about those matchups if they didn't do swap. So starting in the top lane, it will be set versus Renekton, at least for the time being.
Yeah, and this is heavily Renekton favored during the lane phase. Set does outscale, of course, and he's also going to have just more impact when it comes to team fights, because when Renekton ults, all of a sudden he just gets a boatload more health, which means Set's ultimate, if he ults the Renekton, does that much more damage. But in the lane phase, Renekton will always just be able to hammer the Set. And that also kind of goes the same way for this mid lane matchup, because Vel'Koz is just going to outrange the Lissandra later on as the game moves forward. But Lissandra, she'll be able to really just try and wave clear and hit 6 and just goon squad with the Lee Sin, either going bot lane or top.
Yeah, and kind of looking at that mid lane in particular, both Kukari and Totally Till have done quite a bit for their teams during the regular season. We tend to see Figure8 play around that mid lane from Kukari, so it'll be interesting to see if this is Lissandra, how they play around Kukari this game. It's the swap, as we kind of expected here, so Flaming Thunder actually going to be taking the Lissandra into the Renekton, Set going into the Vel'Koz. We kind of expected this, but let's talk about these lane matchups again, this time with the correct champions. In the top lane, it will be Lissandra versus Renekton.
So the Lissandra-Renekton matchup is a little bit tougher for the Renekton, because of course Lissandra is going to have the range advantage. It's very free wave clear for the Lissandra, and assuming she goes Aftershock, she's going to be very difficult to kill. So Lissandra actually has a good matchup going here. On the flip side, the Vel'Koz Set, unless Vel'Koz really finds those Q pokes onto the Set, it really just becomes sort of a farm lane. And if you're Kukari, you're very fine with that. However, you do lose by taking these lane assignments for the side of Figure8. You do lose out on the ability to just 4-man dive bot lane non-stop after Lissandra hits 6. So you do lose out on that, but with teleport, you can always bring them in.
Yeah, and definitely, as we were kind of saying before, Figure8 wanting to play towards that bottom side of the map early, going to try to get those dragons earlier with the lane advantage that they get out of Misfortune and Morgana. Set can be very good once he hits level 6 for those ganks, and Lissandra as well, so maybe a double TP play will come out from them around the 7 to 10 minute mark. Meanwhile, on the side of Vision Gang, we do see, as we kind of already talked about, they're going to want to play towards this top side of the map, towards the solo lanes early. Echo and Renekton, they're going to want to snowball. But do we have any final thoughts for either of these team comps?
Yeah, I mean, Vel'Koz Ezreal will scale a little bit better towards the later portions of the game. So we'll have to see when it gets to that mid-game point if Vel'Koz Ezreal are able to turn things around for their squad.
All right, guys. We've done our little bit of analysis, but we have to take a quick little break as we wait for the spectator delay to roll down and for us to load into the game. So we will be right back, but first a word from our sponsor.
Started with a vision. A vision of quality, a vision of uniformity. We took the time to create something familiar yet refreshing, something with a bit of change.
Designed to fit any brand's unique vision.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Upsurge Junior League Playoffs Round of 16 matchup between Figure8 Esports and Vision Gang. My name is Finnick. Joining me on the desk today is Night Star, and we are getting ready to go in game one of this best of three on the blue side. It is Figure8 Esports, Flaming Thunder in the top lane on the Lissandra, Area in the jungle on the Lee Sin, Kakari in the mid lane on the Set, Fruity Friday in the bottom lane on the Misfortune, and Free Slim in support on the Morgana.
Yep. And on the red side, we got referem?
Reframe.
Reframe? Okay. And then Shai Kenzoria, Totally Till, True Rage, and Maximus, the Roman numerals.
I believe that's the 73rd.
Is that 73rd? I am not good with Roman numerals.
That's 50 plus 10 plus 10 plus 3, so that's 73.
We haven't hit Super Bowl 73, so I haven't needed to register that far in Roman numerals. That's basically how I figure that out.
All good. That said, nothing too major in terms of level 1s. Going through, we saw a bit of a stack set up towards the bot side from Vision Gang, but they were not going to find any invades. Did get an evasive ward, though, so they will know when the Echo crosses from his blue side to his red side, as he does go blue to Gromp, and might actually path for the Wolves, so a full clear blue side from this Echo is a bit interesting to start this game.
Yeah, he's just looking to really just full clear here. He knows that the Lee Sin is going to want to be a little more aggressive, so he's just going to play it a little bit slow here, as we see actually the invade coming out from Lee Sin. He's going to be able to steal away the red buff. That's really, really nice for Arya.
Yeah, Area with the triple buff there. Echo still unaware of where Lee Sin is. Echo's really right on the ward. So that is a red buff gone, and that feels really bad for Echo.
Yeah,
not as
and
bad
it could be a kill.
It could be. We see Vel'Koz is roaming up as Shai Kenzoria forced to flash over the wall. Warthog back. Almost gets knocked up, but he instead flashes back towards Shai Kenzoria. He uses the parallel convergence to make sure he gets out. Area, though, reducing damage on to Totally Till. Kakari is here, flash forced out. Here comes the Q, and the first blood coming in for Area on the Lee Sin as Reframe. Gonna get the slice and dice, but Kakari pulls him back. Will end up getting the stun on the Area, but he's taking out super low. Oh, man, Haymaker! Are you kidding me? Double kill already for Kakari at 3 minutes and 30 seconds into the game, as somewhere in that the Ezreal died bot.
Yeah, everyone. That was almost a 3-minute ace, Finnick. That was crazy. As the side of Figure8, they just get everything. They get the 3 buff, they get the kill onto the jungler, the mid laner, the top laner, and now also the AD carry. A disastrous start for Vision Gang.
Yeah, that was really well played from Kakari in particular there. One thing that was kind of interesting to see was Reframe went for the slice and dice onto Area, but he was actually pulled back by Set. So he eventually was able to get the slice on Area, but since he was pulled out of that ability, he was right in place for the Haymaker as he tried to kite out, and just really well played from Kakari. And as we were saying pre-game, Kakari, the player you want to play around on this team, already has the Phage, going to start building into his Triforce as soon as possible.
Yeah, and the really depressing part was when Shai Kenzoria really wanted to come back into the fight, and then he ate the very tip of that Haymaker and gave over the blue buff to the Set. And now, Totally Till, he's totally tilted. No doubt.
I mean, we don't know if he's tilted yet. Could be, you know, just some game 1 jitters going down. That said, blue buff over to the Set. Not the worst person to get blue buff to. He only gets cooldown reduction from that, as manaless champions are OP. Death Sentence gonna land on their Free Slim, but there isn't much more that can follow up from True Rage at the moment. as we continue in this laning phase, already a 1.5 gold lead for the side of Figure8 Esports as the junglers start playing towards these neutral objectives.
Yeah, and Reframe, this is basically how this top lane interaction is going to go, where even if he gets that double dash in, you get the easy aftershock proc, and as long as you have aftershock, well, that's a good trade. So you have to, as the Renekton, trade in the windows when the Lissandra just doesn't have that aftershock available to her, and then you can deal meaningful
Area's
damage.
on the way up. Frame does have the Dominus available, but he was spotted on a ward, so he's going to make his way down back into his jungle. Echo was close by here too.
Yeah, so both junglers hovering this top side. Refrain hitting level 6 first, but Flaming Thunder.
Oh, Glacial Tomb, Safeguard right back, gonna take the Frozen Path to make sure he doesn't get out of that one. But it doesn't matter, his area just picks up the kill anyways. Nice little bit of gold onto the Lee Sin. He's now 2-0 and 2.
Yeah, and actual Echo actually just leaving top side, not looking to catch that farm, as Refrain does have that teleport available, ends up having to burn it here, and again it just continues that snowball. And for the side of Figure8, this team just has such a great
Free
5-man.
Slim, oh, not able to
What?
get the Dark Binding.
Yeah, but again, the Figure8 just have such a great death ball composition where they just charge forward, and if anyone's ever by themselves, they're pretty much dead for the side.
Ooh, nice trade of flashes, but here comes the TP. Here comes Kakari. He has the ultimate, stuns them with the flash, takes them back with the showstopper, haymaker, and a true damage, and an auto will do him in as Fruity Friday picks up his second kill of the game. And that is going to be a quick Infernal Dragon going over to Figure8 as
Yeah,
well.
Fruity Friday, just you know, this is a very fed Friday. He's already out to 2 kills. He's got that 8 CS lead here. He's up against an Ezreal. Everything is definitely feeling great because at no point in this late phase do you expect the Ezreal to really pressure back at the Misfortune. And it's going to be a very long time before True Rage is...
Area right onto Shaiken the kick followed by the Q! What was that? Area picking up an easy solo kill onto Shaiken Zoria.
That was squeaky. That was clean, and it just accentuates the point that Shaiken Zora, he's not level 6, so even if he wanted to make a play...
Q back, not gonna get the knock-up though. Totally Till makes his way out.
Able to use a flash, but still, as the Vel'Koz, when you lose out on that flash, it's not great.
Oh. And now they're just willing away at this tower. They know that Totally Till can't do much here. Shaiken Zoria roams up. He's only at level 5. As we see Reframe winning a trade onto Lissandra here. Area is here. Frozen Path up. Back into the W. He's stunned up as the Dominus is going to be popped. Area going back in with the Q. We'll pick it off the red buff burn. Despite Reframe's flash and Dominus. So another kill going over to this Lee Sin. And right now, Figure8, 8-0 across the map. 4K gold lead at 9 minutes 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's a rough one, Finnick. If you're the side of Vision Gang, now it's time to live up to your name. Find Vision and gang up, because that's really what you're going to be looking for, to try and get some picks to get back into the game, or at least find some vision control, hopefully around topside, to help salvage the lane you'd like to play around. But your bot side is really struggling. The mid lane is, he's doing all right, but then top lane, Refrain is building towards an early rush Death Stance, which is a good item, but I don't know about it being the first item.
Here comes Shaiken Zoria. Parallel Convergence on a Fruity Friday, but he's already spell shielded, in fact. will end up walking out of that one with the strut. Oh, nice Q onto True Rage with the ricochet back onto Shaiken Zoria. And that will be that for the Echo's early pressure, as he will back and grab Runic Echoes here.
Should have the Runic Echoes, but then if you compare the gold, Arya, he's out to a 2k gold lead as the jungler, and you see he's
Bullet
looking to punish
time.
it.
Maximus just kind of stayed in there. He wasn't even caught by the Dark Binding, it looks like. But still, this just does not feel good for the side of Vision gang. As Kakari and his top laner are here. The Glacial Tomb, right back into the minions. Showstopper, and Kakari goes on a killing spree.
Yeah, and nothing you can do about it. As the Vel'Koz there, you don't have cleanse, you just don't have any ability to try and escape that gank. And Flaming Thunder, he hasn't been getting the kills, but as a Lissandra, that is perfectly fine. The Lissandra in this team composition is really looking to just be primary initiation, although, you know, towards the later portions of the game, at the late game point, you might struggle a little bit as you aren't that full tank, but at this point in the game, you're plenty durable.
Yeah, and already having the Seeker's Arm Guard rush with the T2 boots, as the Rift Herald was popped in the bottom lane. Tower first gold going over to the side of Figure8. Gonna get that gold on the Misfortune as she's ready to complete her Essence Reaver. Ward hop back towards the kick. The knockup not gonna land as the shield was already there. And Kakari goes on a rampage as he gets the kill on to Totally Till.
Yeah, and it's just clinical execution coming out from the side of Figure8 so far, and there's just no way to stop these dives. They haven't really been warding around themselves in the fashion you
Flash
need
forward,
to.
not gonna grab the play. He's popped back in as Kakari flashes a bit too late. Will the shutdown gold go over to her frame? It's Pretty Friday.
Oh boy.
Now doing some damage. Here comes Area, but the flash already popped. Double kill for the Misfortune as the Dominus not gonna soak up enough damage. Triple kill for Fruity Friday in exchange for the mid laner. And I say that one's worth it.
Yeah, and what a read from Arya, just reads True Rage like a book. And just throws that resonating strike right where it needed to be. Shaiken Zoria trying to wave clear this mid lane with his mid laner, but they just keep bleeding out gold, and they've bled out another dragon. It's a 7k gold lead.
And it's the Ocean Soul too. This is like the perfect combination of dragons to snowball a game.
Yeah, you get all the stats you ever want in the additional tankiness, the additional damage, and now you get the pretty much invincible regen. If a soul comes through, there's just no way for this team on the side of Figure8 to ever die until maybe if this game goes to 60 minutes. That's a long time.
That is a long time, especially considering how cleanly they're executing right now. They do need to get these turrets down as we approach the 15-minute mark.
No, don't do it!
Game's already started. No, why you gotta do him like that, Area? He's unstoppable as a frame now in a 1v1 versus Kakari, coming out pretty low as Vision is being cleared here by the Lee Sin and the Morgana. Why you gotta do the Ezreal like that? What do you ever do to you?
Poor man. He's done a respectable job to stay relevant.
The stretch hook into the fight. Free Slim flashing into the backline. Gonna pop the Zonia's hourglass as the sun's already landed. Fruity Friday is dominating as he picks up the kill with the bullet time. Zed gonna pop the stuns down as Kakari gets the kill. Will take the showstopper back under the enemy turret. As Area just takes the Q in and goes dominating. The trade kill will come out from the turret regardless as Free Slim now on the run. Kiting it back. Does get the root down as Lee Sin not gonna find the resonated strike. It will be a 3-for-2 as True Rage won't find the EWQ, and he gets through by the Morgana. Figure8 are able to get out of this one. No! Instead, it will be the Ezreal ultimate to snipe. 3-for-3 across the map, and that fight went evenly, and I would say maybe in favor of Vision Gang that one time.
At last, they're able to cash in on some of those shutdowns. That's huge to get these shutdowns here, especially on the Lee Sin. Because all of a sudden, this Ezreal just got that much bigger. And I say with a little tentative there, because he's still 2k down from the misfortune, but, you know, he's trying his hardest.
Small victories, small victories. Rotar was going to be started up by Vision Gang here, as the Vision not in favor of Figure8, so this will be a pretty easy take for them, as Lissandra will be pushing in this top lane. Renekton will roam up for that one. That being said, though, Freaky Friday still has a 650 gold shutdown to their names. The Roots already landing into the threat hook. Playback, but it's black shielded. And Free Slim getting out of that one, but skin of their teeth.
Yeah, but still, you know, some good rotations coming out from Vision Gang now that a lane phase has been cracked open here, which is a good sign, because that's how they're going to have to get into this game. Find the out rotations and be able to pick people off from the side of Figure8 here. And, you know, you get a couple of them and you're able to slow down the game and allow your
Maximus
carries.
pulls them back. Showstopper right on the Totally Till. Haymaker gonna do the rest of the damage. Free Friday goes godlike, killing the Thresh. The Death Beam comes out. He's able to get the shutdown. So it will be a 2-for-1 across the map, but that's an extra 650 gold in Totally Till's hands as he looks for Kikari. True Rage is also here, as Area and Free Slim are roaming down as well. Top lane turret will fall. That's a nice bit of gold onto the mid laner, as Area will not find any follow-up damage onto the Ezreal.
Yeah, and another nice shutdown. Sure, it was a man advantage for the side of...
Oh no. Echo ultimate back. Area might be in a bit of trouble. He takes a safeguard to safety. Oh,
he's
back under the tower! That was dirty, man! Area will end up going down to the Totally Till as a fresh hook. Fly under tower. Kikari might actually be in a bit of trouble. Haymaker not gonna get the kill onto the Ezreal. Here comes a true shot barrage. His swing and a miss. Kikari able to get out by the skin of his teeth, but both junglers gonna be traded there.
Yeah, and they just narrowly escape with Kari's life there. But again, Totally Till, he just cashed in onto another game, another kill, and now he's steadily getting there. And if he's able to complete his 2 glacial items, that might be a way for them to get those extra picks, as that was really close.
The thing is, if you pick Glacial Augment and are getting glacial items, you're doing it for utility, you're sacrificing a lot of the damage you're going to get, because it's less AP than if you went for Luden's Echo plus whatever the second item you want to pick is, depending on the matchup, right? In this case, it would probably be something like a Zoner's Hourglass, but we do see Ocean Dragon going to go over to Figure8 here, as Vision Gang nowhere to be found.
Yeah, and now that the Vel'Koz does have his 2 utility items for his next damage item, I would like to see him go for the Liandry's Torments. If he really wants to output damage, that should be the item he's looking for. But again, you mentioned it, they have so much dive, it also makes sense for him to go for Zanya.
Nice play to keep Kikari out of that fight. The box gonna be popped as Freaky Friday's on the wrong side of this fight. Area will get the kill on Maximus as Freaky Friday chains back. True Rage, able to get the shutdown as Reframe gonna use the Dominus Slice Dice. The Haymaker not gonna grab any damage, and now Area in a bit of trouble as he wartops over the wall. True Rage trying to find his way on Area as the root's gonna land. Free Slim doing quite a bit of damage. He's a support, he shouldn't be able to do that. He kills the kill onto Reframe and now True Damage gonna be stunned up by the ultimate from the Morgana. Area goes on a rampage as the double kill comes in, and the ace for Figure8 Esports.
And Figure8, they don't stop. They haven't stopped at all this game. They've been non-stop, just finding fights, finding pickoffs. The pressure is just so immense from the side of Figure8, and they're going to be able to cash it in onto this Baron buff
Maximus.
at 20 minutes.
Yeah, just great play right now from Figure8. As they got the Baron buff, they're going to go for the resets. Lysandra actually didn't complete the Zoner's Hourglass. Instead went for the Luden's Echo first item, but she's building into it. Got the Phoenix Codex. We're looking at Set's itemization. He has Trinity Force very close right now to his Sterix gauge. Lifeline is broken. Don't at me. And Misfortune, of course, very close to her third item as well. Has the Cloak of Agility. Don't know which crit item that will be quite yet. But I would assume either a Phantom Dancer or a Rapid Fire Cannon.
Yeah, Rapid Fire Cannon would be really great here since it just lets you get that extra range to access the Vel'Koz and the Ezreal, as they are going to be playing from pretty far distances. But True Rage, interestingly enough, has opted for the Trinity Force build here. If you look at that lineup, they do have plenty of damage, assuming everyone, hits their items. And it's a little bit surprising to not go for a more utility Iceborne Gauntlet build to try and get a little more durable against the Set, the MF, and the Lee Sin.
I think counterpoint to that, Totally Till already has Glacial Augment and those items to see reframe, Force Pop the Dawn, and as he's stunned at a wall? What? Flash is back, Area's on a killing spree as he's played back into the team.
Oh!
Turret goes down, but it will be a 1-for-1 now. As Shutdown Gold does go over to Shaik and Zoria. The turret's still falling, they still got the Baron buff on 4 members, and they are going to go for this top lane turret as well. Interesting interaction there between the Thresh Hook and the various stuns, but... Or not the
that
Thresh
was
Hook,
like a literal bug splat.
Yeah, that wasn't Thresh Hook, that was like... I guess the Set probably pulled him.
Yeah, I think he pinned him to the wall, but it looked like he was in the wall.
Yeah, exactly. Kikari now procs the Sterix gauge, pops the Haymaker a bit too early, Flaming Thunder a bit deep, but it doesn't matter as the bullet time already comes in. Double kill comes in for Lysandra's. Kikari goes in deep, will go down to the turret shot. Flaming Thunder might be the next one to fall, takes a glacial path over the wall, and it will end up being an overall 3-for-1, once again in favor of Figure8.
Yeah, and with these Baron minions coming in, they're
Glacial path, he's looking for True Rage, instead gonna go on to a frame. He's stunned up in the Glacial Tomb. He will end up going down, but that straight I think is worth it. True Rage going to go down, the ace coming in. Shutdown still going over to the Ezreal, but the double kill from the Misfortune means that Figure8 are gonna push right into the base.
And that is going to be that first inhib going down, and they don't have Baron buff anymore, so it does mean that the rest of the push is going to have to wait another time, but they are very happy with everything that they've got so far.
Yeah, Zona's Hourglass now completed for the Lysandra. She's Glacial Tombed. I don't think she's used Self-Ultimate once this entire game. Now she has, now that she has Zonia's, I don't think she'll ever need to, as we see Kikari gets knocked up, has full Vel'Koz passive, so wants to get away from that true damage at the moment, but otherwise, Misfortune, currently 2,700 gold in the pocket, will end up grabbing the Ocean Soul here before backing, and now it really is just Figure8's job to close out this game.
Yeah, also going to, actually not going to buy here, just looking to utilize whatever waves they still have left available, knowing that the rest of her team are all ready to start the push. She's decided to stick around here and continue the siege. And they might just look to end it before...
Maximus not going to find the hook. Here comes the bullet time. As True Shot Barrage will clear out the wave. Echo with Parallel Convergence, only able to stun minions. As into the back line goes the enemy top laner, but he goes down to the death ray. It will be a 1-for-1 sleep. Slim goes on the killing spree. Echo Ultimate a little bit too early, not able to get the kill. His area will end up going down. Shaik and Zoria will end up being traded, and it's a 3-4-1 once again in favor of Figure8, and they're going to keep pushing into this base.
Yeah, they're going to be able to just run past okay, a little bit disconnect. It looks like two of them wanted to end, but the MF just wanted to continue to, try and pummel away at this bottom turret, get that in him tower secured, and just play a little safer. And I mean, I respect that. This is a playoff match. You want to make sure you get the W without too much pressure.
Yeah, I do think Fruity Friday needs to back here. Still sitting on 3.8k.
He's hoarding.
He is hoarding, but you can build a third crit item.
He
And,
could just get another IE, straight up.
Well, no. So stat-wise, he's currently even with the Ezreal, which means you need to spend that gold because Ezreal is on 2 items boots and is halfway to his 3rd item. We do see MF back here, gonna grab the Storm Razor and a BF sword.
Okay.
So we'll go Bloodthirster 4th item. But now sitting on that 75% crit, 4 BF swords in the inventory, and that feels really good for Misfortune on that back.
Yeah, and this build is basically just trying to accentuate the one-shot potential of just 1 or 2 autos, and just playing around your ultimate.
No, come on! Come on, Area! You didn't even need to use the kick! That's just BM at this point. They start up on the Baron.
Today's leg day for him, man. He's worked hard. It's Friday, he hasn't had much to do. He's got to stretch those legs out, and he's really put them to work here today. He even has the Dusk Blade.
Drop Raj into the Death Beam, not gonna find anything.
Good.
Gonna go in with the Showstopper. Zona's Hourglass gonna be popped as we see Totally Till in a bit of trouble. Will end up going down to Flaming Thunder. There will be a 1 for 0 right now. Sakari now looking for the rest of the kills. Area gonna go right onto the minions. And the 2-man set stun! Area getting the kill on the Shag and Zori as the death sentence will land on the Kakari. He's able to kite out of that one as there are so many shields. Double kill coming in for the Lee Sin. A Flaming Thunder will find Tony's Hourglass. Area gonna safeguard back to Free Slim as the kills keep coming through. Lysandra and Ezreal picking up some kills there. It's gonna be the 4 for 0. It's gonna be the ace, or not the ace, I should say. It's gonna be the game for Figure8, and they're gonna go up 1-0 in the series in 27 minutes, 54 seconds.
Yeah, a 28-minute game, and they had a 20k gold lead at the end of it. 20k. They were playing with their food.
So, trivia question before you look at the graph: who did the second most damage in the game?
Lee Sin.
No, it was actually Lysandra.
Oh.
She did so much damage on her passive at the end there. Like, she didn't get many kills, but like, that's a bit of a fun one. So Misfortune, of course, topping out the damage there. Very well played.
It was still really close though. Lee Sin just
300 damage away. It's fine. That being said, though, very cleanly played from Figure8. Not too many slip ups in that game. There were 1 or 2 fights that they took where they dove in a bit deep and got a little bit punished, but otherwise, very clean play. They did very well playing around Kakari early, leaving into getting Fruity Friday ahead, right? Those kills on the set early really pushed their victory, or pushed the tempo of the game. And meanwhile, Vision Gang not able to execute on their win condition.
Yeah, and it wasn't totally their fault because Arya did Arya things and win in at that level 3. It feels bad to call a game at 3 minutes, but when you go up 4-0, all your laners die. It does feel a little bit of a open mid kind of game, so I do feel bad. But Arya was, oh man,
Area did so much that game.
do we have
Early.
enough time for me to take a shower?
Yeah, that was a bit dirty. There were too many. There were too many just like Lee Sin kicks that were so clean they were dirty. If you know what I'm saying. That being said, though, any final thoughts before we go into break?
Just ban every single one of Arya's champs.
All right. Sounds like a plan. But that is all the time we have for game number 1. We will take a quick break, but don't go anywhere because we'll be right back for game number 2 of this round of 16 matchup between Figure8 and Vision Gang. Don't touch that browser.
It's so dark out here in space. And it's been so long since I've seen a face. My eyes are shut, but I can see the void between you and me. And I feel like I'm going insane. Help me. Is anybody there? Save me. I'm running out of air. Calling out Mayday. Calling out Mayday. Far from the sun, beyond stars, I hear their song. They're coming closer, talking without sound, calling me home. Calling out Mayday. Calling out Mayday. Save me. I'm running out of air. I'm running out of air. I'm running out of air. I'm burning down the walls, we let the monsters in, and now we're running down the halls. No, we can't let them win. There's an evil inside, it is lurking way down below. And if I can't hold my breath, then I'm bound to become hollow. Can you say that I disappeared? Can you say that I wasn't there for you when you went into hiding on the bronze steps of your porch? And I reflected on the memories, but I put out that torch. Hey! But I put out that torch. But I put out that torch. So now can you tell me when you want to be in time?
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Upsurge Junior League round of 16 playoff match between Vision Gang and Figure8 Esports. My name is Finnick. Joining me on the desk today is the lovely Night Star, and we're getting ready to go into game 2. Lee Sin already being taken off the bans.
Lee Sin instantly thrown onto the ban table. They do not want to deal with that one because, you know, I had to run through and take a quick shower during that intermission, and now I'm feeling good. I'm feeling a little more refreshed. Got the nice little shampoo going, so I'm ready.
Misfortune also being banned away here by the side of Vision Gang. That was... once again, we're in plat. Meta does matter a little bit. Misfortune is technically the highest priority AD carry in the meta right now. And it was picked, but definitely more so they're afraid of the Misfortune from that last game. Very lane dominant, as we see Senna already being picked up. Should mention, as this is the pickup here, that there has been a sub and a rotate coming in from Vision Gang. Totally Till has moved from mid lane to AD carry, and in the mid lane they have brought in Xander of Astora instead as the substitute. So this Senna will be piloted by Totally Till, and he's been playing quite a bit of this in Upsurge.
Yeah, and Senna just such a great champion at the moment because you can just be aggressive in lane and ignore the farming aspect of the champion because, well, if you play fasting Senna, you don't need to farm. But it also explains why the Victor did get banned out by the side of Figure8 because Xander is a Victor player, has played some games on it, and when you run in like that with a team composition that Figure8 did before, you're going to run into a lot of issues going into a gravity field and just the ultimate from Victor.
Yeah, as we see, Morgana was already picked up here in the first rotation. Set also going to be picked up. That will be going mid lane, most likely. That said, though, Thresh going to be paired up with the Senna. Kind of a weird one lore-wise, but even weirder because you're picking Thresh into a Morgana voluntarily.
Yeah, and this time it wasn't that the Thresh got counterpicked by Morgana, but rather, again, as you said, the Morgana already got locked in and you just opted straight into it. So a little interesting there, but of the Peel potential champions, it's not too bad. The issue is you won't have necessarily the engage power from the Thresh. As Pantheon gets locked in, we're going to have a little more of an early game flavor from the draft this time.
Oh, there's the Jarvan. We made mention of this before. Surprised I went through the draft in the previous game. So Pantheon going to be picked up in the jungle from the side of Vision Gang, while the Jarvan in response. Both teams do like to play this champion. With the set already picked up, we're not going to be seeing the Jarvan Rumble combo, because that will be set mid lane. As you see the bans coming out, Renekton, Lissandra, it's going to be a top lane ban fest.
Yeah, and no doubt we're going to see Lissandra and probably Skarner banned out here. And so for the side of Figure8, it might end up just being an Ornn pick locked in, or even the Poppy that he has played before in the top side for this team. Just waiting on the last two bans. Now Ahri, the final ban from Figure8. So trying to pinch that mid lane pool just a little bit. Syndra might be a really good pick here. LeBlanc could also be a possibility.
Yeah, but it's very difficult to blind pick your mid laner in this scenario. Or it's not really blind pick, right? You do know that set's going mid lane, but in the event that Vision Gang has something up their sleeve and instead puts the set top lane, which they have not done all season, it can be interesting. Instead, they will pick the Varus here, so we technically don't know what lane that set's going into at the moment. Varus, though, being picked into the Senna. Based on how they've been playing, I'm going to expect Arcane Comet Lethality Varus.
Yeah, and Varus has been that soft counter to Senna just because of how much damage he has when he does take that lethality build and just cleaves away at Senna's HP.
Ooh.
And the Azir locked in means that they have a little more lane presence, but also the same amount of wave clear that they had in the previous game without sacrificing that lane phase. And hopefully that means that the Azir will be able to team up with the Pantheon to maybe invade into that Jarvan jungle.
Yep, Shen also going to be picked up here. This has been picked a few times by the side of Vision Gang this season. Or Frames played a couple games on the Shen. Do like it in conjunction with this comp. Very good at protecting the Senna as she scales up in the late game. And the Azir as well. They do have kind of a more late game focused comp. Obviously, Senna does build lethality, and it will actually be the set top. First time this season from Figure8. They're going to pick the Fizz in the middle lane to counterpick this Azir. And I'm excited for this because we haven't seen this pick this entire season.
Yeah, and this should be very exciting because, I mean, he's been more of that utility initiation, and sets can struggle a little bit being the primary initiation, but will scale remarkably well this game here as he will be laning against the Shen. So Shen doesn't quite put that much pressure in the lane phase. Set should get free scaling.
Yeah, and the other thing is it's not like the Shen's like a super strong counter pick into the set here, right? There are lanes where Shen will just go ahead and win. There are lanes where Set will go ahead and win. This lane is just going to be a farming lane for the time being. Both champions want to hit level 6 first, and then use their pressure around the map. That being said, though, moving on to the bot lane, let's start talking about these lane matchups. It's going to be Senna Thresh versus Varus and Morgana.
So again, this is a bot lane from the side of Figure8 that should still have push advantage. Varus with those piercing arrows and Morgana with her pool will be able to get constant pressure in that bottom side. So that hasn't really changed much from game 1 to game 2. The only big difference is the Senna will be able to provide a lot more utility than the Ezreal, where he provides a lot of utility for himself. Senna's going to be able to provide it for her team.
Yeah, and the thing about Senna is, right, unlike every other AD carry in the game that builds lethality, she does scale into late game off of her passive. The reason she builds lethality is because it's strong early, and then her passive gives her crit. So I will be interested to see how Vision Gang plays into this mid game to try to get their Senna to the point where she has enough souls on her passive. Meanwhile, moving on to Figure8, Varus lethality has to win by 25 minutes or he does nothing.
Yeah, but I mean, this is a team that snowballed very, very well. So it does make a lot of sense to go for a snowball build from Varus. Of course, we could see a small curveball and try and play more of that mid-late game style with the on-hit or even the crit build. That could still be a possibility. So that'll definitely be interesting to watch. We should get a very good tell once we get into the loading phase with seeing the keystone from the bars.
Yep, either going to be Arcane Comet, which means he's going lethality, or it's not Fleet Footwork, it's the other one.
Lethal Tempo.
Lethal
or
Tempo.
The Hail of Blades has been seen a little bit.
Yeah, but more commonly Lethal Tempo for the on-hit build. Scales very well with the attack speed off that passive. Moving on to the jungle, though, will be Pantheon versus Jarvan. Early game junglers, but both of them bruisers that can do much for their team in the late game if it gets to that point.
Yeah, and what I really like from the Pantheon is his ability to really traverse the map really well. And in combination with the Shen, there's actually a good amount of global control from the side of Vision Gang. So this time they can really live up to their name and hopefully play around the Vision Ganging.
Yeah, obviously, Pantheon hitting the Grand Skyfall and Shen hitting the ultimate as well. Just means you have an instant delivery for taunts.
Yep.
Uh, Grand Skyfall, Shen Unite or Stand United, and there you go. Moving
Yep.
on to the mid lane matchup, though, it's gonna be Azir versus Fizz, and talking about fun and interactive lanes.
Azir Fizz should go heavily in favor of the Azir until Fizz hits level 6, and then Azir is going to be have to play very careful around that Fizz ultimate. But given how strong Exhaust is at the moment, if we see the Azir go the Exhaust Summoner spell, it should be incredibly effective this game, and it might just be the edge they need to really snowball around this mid jungle duo.
Yeah, and obviously you get Pantheon, Azir, Shen, all of whom can roam bot lane very quickly. And if you get the Senna ahead, the game's yours. You have the enemy team effectively has no armor, and you're doing crit. But moving on to the top lane, this one's going to be less of an interesting lane. It's going to be Shen versus Set. Did somebody say farm?
Yeah, and this lane is really going to come down to not how they interact with each other, but how they interact with their team. Set's going to want to look for some flanks. Shen, of course, wants to use that ultimate pretty much on cooldown. So it should be fun, to say the least, but not during lane. Unless if Shen goes for a really spicy build, then, you know, that could throw things into the spanner.
I mean, Tiamat Rush is pretty common on Shen. Don't know if he's going to go for the Titanic Hydra or if he's going to go for the Sunfire Cape first item. Could be either of those, depending on how he wants to build for his team. Shen can do damage. Don't underestimate Shen damage. But realistically speaking, probably going to go tank, probably going to try to enable the Senna and the Azir into the late game. Definitely looking for that scaling and looking to use the Pantheon and his ultimate to get them through that early to mid game to the point where Azir and Senna are online. That being said, though, Upsurge as a league would not exist without the generous support of our sponsors, including sponsor I'm about to tell you about. It's Kono Keyboard. If you are looking to take your game to the next level, it starts with your peripherals, from keyboards to keycaps, mice, and more. Our friends at Kono have got you covered. Kono works with the world's best designers, innovators, and makers to bring you some of the best gaming peripherals around. Kono have been huge supporters of us here at Upsurge and have made generous contributions to all of our prize pools. If you need to find a new keyboard, if you need to get anything from Kono, check out the Hex Gears X1 RGB low profile Bluetooth mechanical keyboard for keyboards. You can use the discount code UpsurgeGG for 7% off your first order. For more information, head over to kono.store to check out all they have to offer. That's KONO.store. Kono, discover amazing products.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Upsurge Junior League playoffs round of 16 matchup between Vision Gang and Figure8 Esports. My name is Fennec. Joining me on the deck today is Nightstar. And after a dominant game one from Figure8, can Vision Gang bring it back in game number 2?
I think they can. They've got the composition to do it. They have the Azir, they have the Senna. All these champions are fantastic champions in the meta. And then you've got the Shen, who just gets so much value in this game because if you look on the flip side, the side of Figure8, they have so many auto attack champions. Sets, Jarvan, Fizz is going to be a little bit auto attack based as well. And most importantly, the lethal tempo Varus.
Yep, lethal tempo instead of Arcane Comet means he's building for that late game, going to be on hit instead of the lethality that we typically see. Interestingly enough, though, despite the Glacial Augment pickup on the Senna, the support item went to the Thresh, so this will not be fasting Senna, which is a bit interesting.
Yeah, it's not something we see too often right now because of the fact that Senna just gets way more stacks with the fasting build.
Oh,
but
nice death sentence. Here comes Shaken Zoria. He's going to go in with the stun, and Free Slim goes down. First blood going over to the Pantheon, and just like that, Vision Gang already up in gold at 2 minutes.
yeah, and that's such a great start for the side of Vision Gang, being able to find that early kill. It also just slows down this bot lane quite a bit, just having to lane 1v2 and putting the Morgana behind. That's going to be another minutes before she's able to get that Black Shield and start trying to protect the Varus in this lane.
And just like that, totally Till and Maximus also with the early level 2. Kakari does go in onto Xander of Astora. Area is also here. Ignite gonna land. He's looking for the flag and drag. Flash, flag, drag, but the flash already forced out of the Fizz. As we see, directed camera wants us to look towards bot lane. Doesn't matter though, Xander will eventually go down here. One Q ought to do it. E forward, Kakari. Gotta pipe that one up with the playful trickster. Flash forward, play. Free Slim in trouble. He's rooted up by the Senna. He's going to be taken down low, but the heal already is here from Pretty Friday. Shaken Zoria is looking for the follow-up. We do see the two-man roam coming down. Shaken Zoria's nowhere to be found now as he's already out there in the alcove. Kakari in area looking for something. Totally Till was able to get the root there. He's trying to make his way out as Shaken Zoria is on the way. Totally Till does go down to Kakari here as area now on Shaken Zoria. He's in the wrong position. He's gonna use the E to try to mitigate the damage, but he still goes down. Pretty Friday picking up the kill there. And a quick 3 kills traded right back by Figure8.
Yeah, no, such a great start and instantly responded to by the side of Figure8 and going up 3 kills to 1. All of a sudden, the gold lead has shifted drastically here.
It's fine. It's just trades. We can talk about the other lanes.
But, you know, once again, Xander, he's not going too far. Oh, but
Xander
he's still dead.
Yeah, he's probably still dead. Yeah, Kakari just gonna pick that one up. Shaken Zoria can easily just assault to get out of that one. 3-0 on the Fizz. That's not where you want the enemy Fizz to be.
Yeah, and the surprising choice by Xander in that he has gone for the barrier, choosing to just try and tank up the assassination damage rather than just cut it in half, which is an interesting choice, but it's going to be a little more useful in general scenarios. But teamfight wise, he would much rather have the exhaust to just press it on Fizz every single team fight.
Yeah, and we do see Shaken Zoria going to take his blue buff here. His area is in the area, as it were. Those are some freak level puns. Please
It was
laugh.
pretty good.
I swear I'm funny. Area going to keep Shekenzori off. He does get stunned up. Xander of Astora is here as a smite already comes down. Reframe. Gonna get the taunt. Gonna get the slow. Spirit's Refuge following anything else as a Fizz flashes over. Gonna get the E. Reframe goes down. And now Shekenzori is on the run. Not gonna be able to get the Combat Spirit. Area picks up the kill there as well. Disaster falls for Vision Gang as they lose another 2 members. And Xander of Astora just has to make his way out with the Blast Cone.
That's all I can say. Nothing. Because it really is just Figure 8. Whoa,
Area,
wait.
I'm gonna go
Okay.
flag and drag. Gonna take up the turret shots and he doesn't go down. He goes on a rampage. Fizz still stays alive. Yeah, he had stopwatch. He purchased a stopwatch for that dive.
Yeah, he has no items but stopwatch. I've never seen that buy before because usually you would just buy long swords if you want to be more aggressive because then you can fight.
That's so
But-
cheeky. That's so cheeky because he's just like, okay, I'm gonna flag and drag, stopwatch my Fizz just the rest of the day. I'm disgusted. I am personally disgusted by Area. He needs a fumigation. He's out of here. These last 2 games, disgusting plays from the jungle.
Yeah, it is wild what he has done. Just 7 minutes into this game and all 28 minutes of that last game. And I mean, again, it's just fun to watch this man go to work, but also Kakari.
Oh, nice hook back into the play, but Free Slim
Still
can use
okay.
Black Shield on himself to make sure he doesn't get rooted up by the Senna. Kakari already level 6. Reframe also hitting that level 6 as well. If he can get and engage with the Thresh, that's going to be the opportunity to use the Stand United. As it looks like the Fizz is beginning to look for his level 6 roam towards the bottom lane.
Yeah, Fizz just an absolute menace right now. 4-0-3. If he goes back, I don't know.
I mean, he has Perta build on back if he opts for it.
Yeah.
420 gold. He has the Kindle Gem and the Hextech Revolver. You do see Shaq and Zoria around here, and the nice Black Shield from Friesland to save the 80 carry. Standard of Historia. I think you're a bit too far up, my friend. Area has Cataclysm, but he's able to make his way out with the Shifting Sands. As the Stand United comes in, Flash going to be forced out of Area. So a nice ultimate to force the enemy Flash. But the Infernal Dragon will still end up going over to Figure 8 if they decide to take it here.
Yeah, it's going to go over to Figure 8 here, and Xander finally gets that level 6 breakpoint, so he has now access to that ultimate. Kakari just waiting in the wings. I believe he did get spotted right as the vision expired, so walking a little bit too soon, but they are going to now start up this dragon. Now, the worst case scenario
I don't want to take this fight, man. It's not even a 50-50. TP's already coming in from a
TPing
frame, and they're off the dragon.
Yeah, amazingly enough, the TP actually forced them off of it. Flaming Thunder deciding not to use his own TP.
Oh,
now
here comes
he
the
does.
Flaming Thunder TP. He has the ultimate. Max is gonna get the hook into the play. The smite fight coming down, and it will end up going over to the Jarvan. Why did you take that fight? As the ultimates are coming in from the set, Kakari goes unstoppable. The ignite tick gonna get the kill onto Maximus. Double kill for Kakari, and it will be a 3-4-1 in favor of Figure 8. Don't take a smite fight a level down.
Yeah, and it was... That was a fight that the side of Vision Gang, they called for the Hail Mary at 9 minutes into the game. I'm a little baffled.
Just let your Azir scale up. He has a good 1-item power spike. Once he gets to 3-item... What? You have late game. I don't think you need to be forcing these fights. You have Senna Azir. You're down 4K. I think you need to bring the pace of this game down by pushing the tempo there. You just gave away a dragon. and 3 kills where you could have just given away a dragon.
Yeah. They invested so much. They used the teleports. They used some of their big ticket
area.
ultimates.
Sun gonna land. Shaken
lose
Sora
Shaken
using
Sora.
the Aegis Assault in the wrong direction as the Cataclysm comes in. Flash not gonna save him. Area picking it up with the Q. And Shaken Zoria still level 5 to Area's level 7. That's gotta hurt.
Yeah, he still doesn't have access to the R key. Oh, where he's still only playing at 75% capacity here as Area. He just keeps controlling this jungle matchup so damn well. He even has the warrior chant.
Oh my gosh, Root gonna land on Totally Tail. He's gonna go down. Nice use of the Chains of Corruption to get that kill onto the Senna. Not much more you can do. This is actually still Lethality Varus, by the way. If you're gonna build Lethality, Comet is still better.
So, I seen it in LCK, so the Korean region. And the reason why you go this build is you get the power from the lethality, of course, but then you're still going to have an okay teamfight presence by going the lethal tempo. And because you have, of course, the lethality, your autos are going to be hitting a little bit harder. That said,
into the ultimate. There comes the Emperor's Divide. Shen's already here. Kakari, he's gonna go down. The Tiamat proc. One more auto will do it, but he's out with the playful trickster. Sen ultimate gets the shutdown anyway. And finally, Figure8 loses their mid laner.
they successfully catfished the fish.
That's not a Tom Kench.
It's a fish.
It's not Tom Kench. You can't say catfish.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, your caster privileges have been revoked. You made a worse pun than something I would make. As the Grand Skyfall comes in onto Fruity Friday, he is shooted up. Free Slim on the wings. Does get the Ignite on the Shaken Zora. Fruity Friday gets rid of it. Play back his Free Slim now. Is ignited, still able to make his way out. This era
Baby. Goon
coming
squad.
down.
Raid
He's
boss.
looking for a flag drag right on to Totally Till. It's gonna go down. As the backs are being channeled, there's the Q, the other Q. The Varus just gonna go ahead and give that one over to Era. He deserves it. And it is a 3-for-0 in the bot lane.
Yeah, and it just feels like everything that Vision Gang tried to do, it just comes back and turns right on its head as Flaming Thunder able to take out that top lane tower as well. So 10 plates, 11 plates secured by the side of Figure8, and he just respawns!
Oh, Kakari, why do you gotta do that with the playful trickster? Shaikazora uses the Aegis Assault a bit early as Maximus will end up popping the stopwatch. Fruity Friday gonna go on a rampage with the Q of his own. Root gonna land the knock up, and now a member of Astora going to actually get out of this one alive. No, Free Slim with the Q. A nice Emperor's Divide, but the snipe from the Morgana gives the fight once again to Figure8.
And Free Slim just saying, stay free. Stay free, buddy. As he hits him with the bind. These binds have been very, very good.
Just so good. Up 10k at 14 minutes. They're going on to this next Drake. It's gonna be the mountain. Are we gonna see an Infernal Mountain Ocean Dragon again?
That would truly be the nail in the coffin here. As if it wasn't already. Because in the previous game, we saw this opening come out from the side of Figure8, and they never relented, and it feels very similar this time as...
Oh no. Right, onto the enemy. Okay. Maximus able to pull him out with the Dark Passage, but there comes the ultimate showstopper, not able to get the root. As the Death Sentence comes in, Flaming Thunder still able to get out of that one with his life, as Kakari was there to tank up the tower, but nice bit of footwork from Vision Gang to keep the ADC alive. Mountain Dragon gonna fall. The next one is the Cloud, so Not the triple stat Drake, but still. Cloud Soul, Ultimate CER, and movement speed.
Yeah, and while it offers a little bit of reprieve, given that you don't get the bonus
Oh, nice
stats,
death sentence. He's gonna go back in. But here comes the playful trickster as the rest of his team engages. Fruity Friday is unstoppable as the Cataclysm comes in. Sentinel's not gonna do any damage. Shike and Zora gonna go down to Era. And that is a 3 for 0. Shen will get the taunt. Era will go down. Shutdown Gold going over onto Refrain, but I think it's a bit too little here, as it is a 3 for 1. Kikari in the wings.
they still want it.
Totally Till, not going to be able to get him with the Chum. The water sea goes deep, but he's not able to find it, and neither is the Veriscue. Totally Till stays alive as the Fizz feeds his life. Shutdown going over onto the Senna. You don't want to do that, man.
Well, you know, maybe that's the impetus for the side of Vision Gang to get back into this game, because those kills are going to be, they're going to feel really nice, because now you've got the serrated Dirk, you have the completed Manamune already. Still comparatively, you're still 1k gold behind, but at least one of your carries is kind of relevant. The other one, you know, he's doing stuff. He's 3.
He still doesn't have his Nashor's Tooth, and Fizz is almost done with his Lich Bane here. Chun the Water is going to be a swing and a miss. Xander Vistora. Oh
That's
my
awesome.
god, a nice playful trickster to get out of the Emperor's Divide. Maximus is here as his Shiken Zora. He goes into the playful trickster, realizes this might be his death. Q's back. He's going to flash forward, going to try to get him with the Ignite, and will do it, but he trades his life. Kikari goes down in a 1-for-1. Maximus picking up the kill there. But that's not a trade you want to take if you're ahead.
It's not, because sure, the kill goes over to the Thresh, but you've killed this Azir so many times. He's not as valuable as he once was when you killed him at level 2. And one of the things I would like to bring up, though, is if we see, I mean, because we see Cloud, if this is a Cloud Soul, the Fizz, his ult's on what, like a 20-second cooldown then?
His ult doesn't have a cooldown. Let's just put it that way. His ult is like Lux's ult. You don't even ping the cooldown once he gets to level 11. So he wants just at least one of these Drakes, and all of a sudden Fizz just, you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, it's basically C champion, kill champion for Fizz at this point.
Maximus, Death Sentence, here comes Reframe, into the flay, the slow, the W. He tries to get some damage out with the Haymaker. He's on to Maximus. Sentinel gonna be a little bit too low to save the support as Pretty Friday is here.
No.
Good damage on Reframe. Flaming Thunder shielding up with the Haymaker. He's still gonna be able to get the kill. Double kill for Flaming Thunder. He's still alive. He's gonna go down eventually, but it doesn't matter as the jungler falls. Era picking up the kill there, and it's a 3 for 1 once again in favor of Figure8. They're looking for more.
They are hunting for that, and
oh, Kikari, no.
Xander?
No. No, why you gotta do him like that?
I think he forgot the memo that he hasn't won the past 7 fights.
Every single Emperor's Divide Xander of Astora has thrown down at this Fizz has been dodged by the playful trickster. That is some insane play from Kikari. Every single Emperor's Divide.
Read like a book.
Like, it's a hard ultimate to hit, but that's just impressive. Totally Kill gonna be ulted by the Stand United as the Shen not pulled back. Doesn't matter. He'll be fine. And the dragon gonna spawn in about 17 seconds here.
some reprieve given over to the side of Vision Gang at this time, but 20 minutes into the game, it's not going to be a 20-minute Baron.
Well, they do get the taunt onto Free Slim. Bot's gonna be popped, but he uses the spell shield. It's now Kakari already onto Maximus. He goes down. Cataclysm onto the enemy top laner, and Era gonna get the kill onto Reframe. They're moving right on to the Cloud Dragon. Is set to split push his top lane.
Yeah, and it really is just them enjoying everything on the map.
Oh, totally Till. I don't know, man. His team's here. Haymaker almost kills Totally Till. Uses the Showstopper, and finally an Emperor's Divide gonna hit. Flaming Thunder forced to go on the run. Totally Till gonna heal up his teammates. He's stunned up. I don't know if you want to go back. And then this one, Flaming Thunder, he uses the Haymaker. Still able to get the kill on the 1v3 as the rest of his team is here.
Oh, wait, what?
We'll go over to Shike and Zora as Fruity Friday does quite a bit of damage to him. Kakari on a killing spree. He's able to pick that one up with the Chun the Waters. Double kill now as he picks up the kill onto Maximus. And it's another 3-for-1 in favor of Figure8.
And Figure8 just drawing Figure8s around them. That's really all you can say about it, because their rotations just have been faster. Their individual members have been stronger, and they just keep plowing forward with this Rift Herald. I don't think they quite crack it, but
Flag and drag onto Reframe. Chains of Corruption actually land as Kakari now forced to use the Zhonya's Hourglass. And he will get out with Playful Trickster. Here comes the Grand Skyfall. He's able to get the shutdown for his AD carries, but he trades his life for it. Actually, he doesn't. Era is the one that goes down there in the Cataclysm, so it's a 2-for-0 in favor of Vision Gang. And they're going to start positioning around this Baron. I don't think they can take it, though.
yeah, they do have the Senna, which means that their Baron take is incredibly slow. They also only have a one-item Gnasher's Tooth Azir, but they're going to try it anyways. There's no Vision around, so if they don't get Vision, then it's possible, but now they do. So we're going to see the contest.
Free Slim. Over the wall. He has ultimate. He's going to pop it. Pops his own Hourglass. Flaming Thunder comes in with the Showstopper. Haymaker doing a bit of damage. It's Pretty Friday just going to do damage for the back line. He pops the Chains of Corruption. Double kill for the Varus. Quadra kill for the Varus. Give it to him. Give it to him. Good. It's the pentakill for Fruity Friday on the Varus. And they're going to grab the Baron.
Fruity Friday, I think it's Frisky Friday. Finnick, because he's 10-0-10. He's a 10 out of 10 champ.
Yeah.
He's been
With 10,000 gold.
Yeah, he's been absolutely feasting this game.
Hey, he's not Cho'Gath. He can't be feasting.
Okay. It's also not Thanksgiving, so I guess he's not quite feasting. But you know, when you're
He's eating like a king. He backs, grabs an Edge of Night, just completed, and a Vamp Scepter.
He's having a good time. And this should be the end of the game with a 15k gold lead at 23.5 minutes. And the Baron buff. The siege is insane on side of Figure8, given just how far ahead this Varus is.
Yeah, I think this game is pretty much over here, but Figure8 still got to close it out. Zona's going to be popped by Xander Vastora. They have Baron buff. They haven't taken any turrets with this quite yet, but they are pushing in both the side lanes, setting up a nice 1-3-1 around the set and the Fizz. These towers are going to fall very soon. They have the vision to just keep on going in here as Kakari clearing vision in the bottom side jungle.
Yeah, and the big issue here with the 1-3-1 is, sure, Reframe is...
Oh, Flaming Thunder. That's dirty. Turret will go down in the bottom lane to the Fizz. As the Azir passive turret goes down, Kakari on to this inhib. What a series, man.
Yeah,
Flaming
and they
Thunder.
missed the taunts. Flaming Thunder.
Oh,
he
he's gonna use the Showstopper into the Haymaker. Shields so much. He still goes down, but Era gets the blue inhib. And I think it's fine trading the set life there. Honestly, Totally Till still picks up the kill. Shekenzora going to get a Comet Spear down, but it does no damage. Maximus going to pop the box to slow down the push. The ultimate going to be popped from the Pantheon right into the back line. Doesn't matter. Kikari gets a kill on a Totally Till as Free Slim is the target from Shekenzora. Going to use the Aegis Assault to mitigate the damage to the frame. Going to be tanking up the rest of the damage. Doesn't matter. Kikari just going in and out with the Q's needs. Will end up giving the kills over to the rest of his team. The ace and the series going to go over to Figure8. They're going to move on to the next round.
And 41 kills going over to Figure8. They absolutely ran over this game, and we thought that game number 1 felt really fast. This game finished 3 minutes faster.
Yeah. Once again, just this early game coming in from Kikari and Era, insane. Not to discount this Forest, 11-0-12. Super
Also
great.
21k damage.
Every chain of corruption that entire fight. Or that entire game. But really, once again, Kikari and Era carrying their team through the early game, finding picks that they had no business finding, and all of a sudden, they just can snowball the rest of their team. Really well played from Figure8.
Yeah, it really was well done by this team, and it really shows how they got their perfect series record during the regular season. They were very clinical in how they approached, especially in this high pressure series.
Yeah, they will be moving on to the quarterfinals. Commiserations to Vision Gang. Their season ends here, but man, sometimes that's how the cookie crumbles. Once again, commiserations to you. Hope to see you around next season in the Upsurge Junior League. But once again, Figure8 going on to the quarters, just really well played.
Yeah. And that's
That's pretty much all we got to say. That was a quick 2-0 coming in. Started this series 30 minutes later than usual, still ending at 10:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 9:05 for those of you in Central Time. And that's going to be it for our broadcast for tonight. Any final words before we get off the air here, Nightstar?
ban all his champions, like I said.
Just ban them, all of
Yeah.
them. That said, everyone here has had a good night, I should say, on the broadcast. It was a fun one, but it is time for us to leave. So from everyone here at Upsurge, the admins, production crew, and all the rest of the league staff, my name is Fennec.
Good night.
And
My name is Nightstar.
and we will see you at a later date.
side.